It feels like every time mainstream games journalists target a game for destruction before it even releases, it only helps it succeed that much more. And in the case of Black Myth Wukong, a game that a lot of people really were excited and hyped for leading up to the release, that only heightened everyone's expectations and excitement about the game. And now here we are, just a few days after its release, and Black Myth Wukong is already selling incredibly well. We talked about how many concurrent players it had on Steam. Every day since its release, it's peaked at over 2 million players. I think the highest I saw was around 2.4 million people concurrently just on Steam playing Black Myth Wukong. Well, now we have some numbers about sales. Black Myth Wukong has sold 10 million copies across all platforms. Thanks to all players worldwide for your support and love. Have a great gaming weekend. And you can see 10 million units sold across all platforms, 3 million concurrent players across all platforms. Now, obviously, majority of people probably playing on Steam. It has released on PlayStation 5. I think it is available as well in the Epic Game Store, but 10 million people already in just a couple days. Black Myth Wukong is already one of the fastest selling games of all time, moving almost as many units in 1 week as Elden Ring and Cyberpunk did in their first months. Black Myth Wukong's first sale numbers are in, and they firmly inhabit don't take a big sip of coffee before you look at them territory. 10 million sold, which, as industry analyst Daniel Ahmed pointed out, is a record-breaking performance that leaves some of the biggest releases over the last few years in the dust. For perspective, here are some comparative numbers. Hogwarts Legacy, 15 million in 3 months. That was the best-selling game of 2023, by the way. And in 3 months, 15 million. Elden Ring, 13 million in 1 month. Cyberpunk, 13.7 in 1 month. Baldur's Gate, 20 million in 5. Helldivers 2, 12 million in 3 months. And we even have some other numbers we can look here. They break it down a little more on this site. Elden Ring, 12 million copies sold in 16 days. Hogwarts Legacy, 12 million copies in 13 days. Like, we might surpass 12 million in just the next day or two for Black Myth Wukong, which would be, 4, 5, 6 days after its release. The only thing that really holds up are some of these Switch games that have a lot of hype going into them. A lot of people want to buy those right on release. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Legends of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Both of them, 10 million copies sold in 3 days. What Black Myth Wukong is doing is ridiculous, especially when you see how many people in media just desperately wanted it to fail. We saw so many of these reviews out there. We talked about the Screen Rant review, where they gave a con because there wasn't enough diversity and inclusivity. For the record, this is a Chinese game made by Chinese developers based on a story from a novel, a Chinese novel that was set in the 1500s, where you play as a monkey, where there's animals and creatures and beings and stuff like that, all around this world. What the fuck are you talking about? And of course, when you actually play the game and you realize, for all the talk about there's not any female characters in this, there are actually several female characters in Black Myth Wukong. Maybe what they meant are these female characters are not fat, black, and trans. Maybe that was the problem they had with the diversity. And it all stemmed from this bullshit hit piece, this IGN article from November of last year that was full of inaccuracies, that was debunked, that was mistranslated to try to accuse that the devs were actually sexist and misogynist, and we shouldn't support this game. We as the media, we as women in gaming need to stand up and oppose this. Congratulations. Great job. You only made it one of the most successful games we've ever seen in its first 3 or 4 days of launch. This is what happens. The media comes out against games like Hogwarts Legacy, and they just get more people interested because people know if the media's attacking it so irrationally like this, then maybe there's a chance this game is actually good. Now, I've played a couple hours of Black Myth Wukong so far. I've not had a ton of time. I've been super busy, but I've played it. I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't got to see some of those hot females that are in it yet, but I'm looking forward to that as well. Black Myth Wukong is absolutely dominating, and you have to imagine that can't make a lot of journalists happy. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.